AEW and WWE competing against each other at this point is just, it is what it is. And people have been talking about it for a really long time, whether it's too petty when they take shots back and forth at each other. But lately, it seems like AEW has been doing a lot of the talking, and more specifically, there was a commercial that really targets and takes shots at NXT. So we're going to talk about that in today's video. All right, guys, welcome to DPW. Let's get started.
You have arrived at your destination.
All right, guys, we do have some new merch. Wrestling is real, people are fake. Go ahead and get your brand new crew neck. Got some brand new t-shirts. If you guys want to purchase any, there are 20% off right now for the holiday season. Use the code and link in the description down below. Support the show and get swagged out. But nonetheless, guys, we are not talking about DPW or Twitter or anything like that. We're talking about AEW versus WWE because this has been a very competitive upbringing, I would say, between AEW and NXT. And I'm not sure if this is the best thing to happen for both companies. I think both of them kind of target the same audience. But nonetheless, AEW and NXT have been very competitive. And honestly, I would say it's been a very cool thing to watch. As far as both shows go, I think they both do a really good job of really capturing an audience's attention and keeping their attention. And more specifically mine, in comparison to maybe what we see on Raw or SmackDown. But of course, AEW kind of shocked the world this past week with a commercial that was seen all across TV. And this basically, as you guys can see the little screenshot right there, that is one screen grab from the commercial. And basically, it comes with a whole bunch of quotes that come from some of the biggest media and press companies. So this one specifically says AEW Dynamite crushes NXT, and then there are some other ones. AEW trounces NXT, and it's just really cool because they're using quotables. And I think this has kind of opened up a conversation for people to say, is AEW petty? And one of two things when it comes to this situation that everybody should keep very, very much in tune with. One, this may not be something that AEW specifically is producing. Of course, AEW is on TNT. TNT is trying to bring in viewers. So that's the first thing that you guys should all know right off the bat. And number two, these quotes aren't coming from people within AEW. These quotes are coming from media companies and blogs or whatever that have or are continuing to write reviews about AEW. So while this is a weird look for AEW, maybe coming off petty, this is also not AEW's words, and I don't want people to confuse that. But here's the thing. Competition is fun. A lot of people say, what would have happened if WCW and WWE had, social media and everything at the time of their war? This is what we would have seen, and I think right now this is something that we should all enjoy. I don't like when there's pettiness back and forth, but I do like when there's subtle shots taken at each other because they are competition. Not everything they've done has made me happy, but nonetheless, it is competition. It is pretty cool. This is no different than what you see when, Arby's and Wendy's go back and forth on Twitter. It's very, very similar. So as long as they could keep it cool, keep it professional, and I think, negativity sells. A lot of people talk about the negatives, but there has been a lot of kind words that have gone from the AEW guys towards NXT and WWE. And there's also been a lot of positive and kind words from WWE towards the people of NXT. So when it comes to that, I know it doesn't get talked about a lot, but when it does come to that, we got to stop focusing on the negative. I know it's really good for headlines and obviously video titles like this, but ultimately that's the issue that we're having in 2019. There is definitely competition brewing between these two companies. And I don't think this is going to be an issue where one gets put out of business. I don't think one will really kill the other. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see two really good companies put on two really good shows. Now, if AEW can, figure out a way to get the Raw and SmackDown audience or the audience that left WWE, in let's say 2010, then AEW can very well do some big things. But as of right now, AEW and NXT, they kind of capture the same audience to begin with. I think the commercial is very interesting. I think it's really cool. But again, these aren't the words coming from AEW. And nonetheless, it is competition. I think what was really funny was on the episode of Dynamite, they pretty much memed the whole thing with Britt Baker, and then on commentary, Excalibur, of course, throughout the subtle, hey, that's Adam Cole's girlfriend, which if you guys don't recall, at NXT War Games, they kind of did the same thing with, hey, that's Adam Cole's girlfriend. It's just really funny stuff. Again, there's time and a place for all of it. When it comes off negative or salty or, petty, I think that's an issue. But I mean, AEW and NXT, it's two competitive brands going up against each other. There is going to be a little bit of back and forth. I say enjoy it. Don't get an emotional attachment because a lot of people do. But ultimately, it was a very interesting commercial. And, was it ballsy for TNT to do? Absolutely. They got to have a good product every week. Last week their ratings went down to 600,000. That might be looked at negatively by some people, but I've always said, whether it's good or bad, I don't care about the ratings, and I still feel that way. But to some people, those ratings matter. So if those ratings matter to you, hey, we got to see a good quality product between the two, and I think that's not an issue. So, guys, let me know what you think. Don't forget the new merch and the link in the description. I'll see you guys next time at Tango with Ango on Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
You have arrived at your destination.